In this lesson, we will work on identifying the solution to a system of equation by looking at its equation and by looking at its graph. So when you solve a system of equation, there are three possible solutions. You could have one solution to the system, you could have no solutions to the system, or you could have infinitely many solutions to the system. First, let's talk about when will you have one solution. When there is one solution to the system of equations, the lines will intersect. The lines will intersect, so they will cross at some point. And at that point, that one point that they cross at, that is the solution to the system. That XY ordered pair where the lines cross is the solution to that system. And so if there is one solution to the system, the slopes are different. If the equations have different slopes, there is only one solution. The b, or the y-intercept, can be the same or the different. But the main thing is, if they have different slopes, one solution. So let's look at this system. This system has y equals negative 2x minus 4 and y equals 4x plus 2. Both of these equations are already in slope-intercept form. And so it's very easy for us to identify the slopes. The slopes are, of course, the number in front of x. And so this equation has a slope of negative 2. This equation has a slope of 4. And because those slopes are different, right, this one's negative 2 and this one's 4, they are different, we know right away that if we were to graph these equations, they would intersect at exactly one point. Therefore, there is one solution. Let's look at an example of these graphs. So here are both of these graphs. The purple line we'll call equation number 1. This is y equals negative 2x minus 4. The blue line is equation number 2. It is y equals 4x plus 2. They are graphed on the coordinate plane, and as you can see, they intersect at exactly one point. And that one point that they intersect at is the solution to the system. And so as you can see, it is right here. And so we need the XY ordered pair where that point is right there. To figure that out, you always begin at the origin. And to get to this point, I need to go left 1. And if I go left 1, that is negative 1. So that is my x value, negative 1. From the origin, I go left 1 and then down 1, 2. And if I go down 2, that is negative 2, right? My y value is negative 2. And so that point right there on the coordinate plane is negative 1, negative 2. This is the solution to the system. One solution. We can also have no solutions to a system of equations. And so where will these lines intersect? Well, if there's no solution, they will never intersect. And because the lines never intersect, therefore there is no solution. So these lines will look like parallel lines. They will be parallel lines, like train tracks. They will never ever cross. The slopes, the m, of these equations will be the same. These equations will have same slope, but they will have different y-intercepts. They will have different values for b. So let's look at an example. We'll look at this system right here. The first equation says y equals 1/2 x plus 1. The second equation, y equals 1/2 x minus 2. Again, both of these equations are in slope-intercept form, right? We have y equals mx plus b. It's in that form. So we can identify the m. The m is, in this equation, 1/2, and in the second equation, also 1/2. And so the m's, or the slopes, are the same. And if the slopes are the same, you have to find out, are the b's the same? Are the y-intercepts the same? Well, as you can see in this equation, the b, or the y-intercept, is 1. In this equation, the y-intercept is negative 2. And so they have different y-intercepts. And if they have same slope and different y-intercepts, the lines are parallel lines, and therefore there will be no solution. So let's look at an example of these lines graphed on the coordinate plane. Okay, this line, the top line, this is equation number 1, y equals 1/2 x plus 1, where slope is 1/2, b is 1. And the second line, this is y equals 1/2 x minus 2. Again, b is negative 2, slope is 1/2. As you can see, these lines are parallel lines, right? They run parallel to one another like train tracks. They will never ever intersect. They will never ever cross. And because they never cross, because they never intersect, therefore there is no solution. There is no solution to the system. You might sometimes see it as a 0 with a diagonal line through the 0, meaning there is no solution to the system. There is no XY ordered pair that satisfies either equation. So we can have one solution to the system, we can have no solutions to the system. The third possible result could be infinitely many solutions. You can have infinitely many solutions to the system. This will happen when the lines intersect at all points. The lines intersect at every single point on the lines. What will these lines look like? Well, these lines will be identical. They will be identical lines. They will be the exact same line. They will be on top of one another. And so these lines will have same slope. They will have same slope and also the same y-intercept. And the reason is because they're the exact same line. They have same slope and same y-intercept. So let's look at this system. Y equals 2x minus 1. That's the first equation in the system. The second equation in the system says 2y equals 4x minus 2. Now, that first equation is in slope-intercept form, but the second equation, where it says 2y equals, that's not quite yet in slope-intercept form because that says 2y, right? And so to get it in slope-intercept form, we need to solve for y. We do that by dividing every term in the equation by 2 so that we have y equals something. And in this case, we would have y equals 4x over 2, that is 2x, and negative 2 over 2, that is negative 1. And so as you can see, the first equation, which is y equals 2x minus 1, is the same exact thing as the second equation, y equals 2x minus 1. And so, of course, if you graph both of those equations, they're going to be the exact same line. They're going to be identical lines, which have same slope. In this case, slope is 2, and same y-intercept, which is negative 1. And so just by looking at the equation, we can tell these are identical lines and therefore have infinitely many solutions to the system. Let's look at these lines graphed. As you can see, there's only one line on the graph, but in fact there's actually two because these lines are on top of one another. The first equation, y equals 2x minus 1, is actually the same thing as the second equation, 2y equals 4x minus 2. And again, as you can see, they have same m, 2, same slope, and same y-intercept, negative 1. They cross the y-intercept at the same place. And so therefore, they are intersecting, both of these lines are intersecting at every single space on the line. Every single point on the line is an intersection. And so therefore we say there are infinitely many solutions, which again, sometimes we write the sideways 8, the infinite symbol, to show that there are infinitely many solutions to the system.